Welcome, my name is Heather Quabell, and this is my presentation on Gateway Hospital for Accounting 6650. Kristen is a new employee that works for Troy at Gateway Hospital. They recently went to Orlando on a business trip. The Orlando conference included training on the newest reporting requirements, networking with other hospital administrators, reporting on the upcoming healthcare legislation, and the current status of the Affordable Care Act. The hospital policy on travel expense is clear. It states that receipts are required and that meals are covered for those that are not provided at the conference, but with a preset limit. Since the conference coincided with Troy's children's spring break, he decided to have a family vacation at the same time. In order to spend time with his family, Troy did not attend all of the conference sessions. After the return from the conference, Troy and his wife decided to submit 3 meals and an extra hotel night as a business expense, even though they were personal expenses. The logic was that the hospital could not cover the total cost of the business trip, and Troy is often traveling for work and the family time cannot be replaced. Troy knows that his boss has a reputation for signing forms without a thorough look-through. After returning to work, Kristen is approached by Joyce, the head of accounting. Joyce asks about Troy's travel expenses, stating that they are high and they do not seem right. She asks Kristen about the extra night Troy had that Kristen does not. Kristen knows it can easily be explained by hospital administrators having to stay for additional meetings, even though that is not the case. Kristen also knows that the hospital has poor controls and a history of not rocking the boat. Kristen decides the best approach is to put off responding for now and to discuss the matter with Troy. What are the main arguments you feel Troy will make and the reasons and rationalizations you need to address? There are several reasons Troy can use as to why he lied on his expense report. First, it is the standard practice and other employees are doing it as well. It's almost expected or standard to inflate your expense report. Another argument is one brought up by Troy's wife. The expenses are not much, especially in exchange for the family time that Troy cannot get back. Basically, the amount is immaterial. Another argument is that it is a one-time thing. Troy has never done this before. Even Joyce mentioned that the reports seem high for him. Troy can argue that he will never do it again and it was only an isolated incident. Now, what's at stake for the parties? If it is found that Troy falsified his expense reports, he could be facing serious consequences. Troy could lose the respect and the trust from his colleagues. Troy may even lose his jobs. Some companies are cracking down on theft, and Gateway Hospital could even press fraud charges against Troy. On the other side, Kristen is a relatively new employee. She doesn't have the connections and relationships that Troy has established. By coming forward, Kristen could be seen as lying or causing problems. Colleagues will be hesitant to trust her and not support her decision to come forward. The company is known for their don't rock the boat attitude, and coming forward can cause a negative work environment for Kristen. What levers can be used to influence how Troy reacts to your position on the matter? We'll start with speaking with Troy about the situation. Mention that you have already been approached by the accounting department. This can show him that it's a serious matter and that you are bringing it up because you were approached and not because you want to cause problems. Tell him he can resubmit the report. He doesn't have to admit he falsified on purpose. Again, mention that Joyce came to you and that you are not comfortable keeping the truth from her. Let him know that if it does come out in falsified reports, he's jeopardizing his reputation. Colleagues will lose trust and respect in Troy, causing an uncomfortable work environment. What is your most powerful and persuasive response to the reasons and rationalizations you need to address? The most persuasive response is that falsifying expense reports shows a lack of ethical standards and is essentially stealing from the Gateway Hospital. The bottom line is that if caught and the accounting team is already suspicious, Troy could lose his trust, respect, and quite possibly his job.